Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our entitled people. In today's episode, entitled boss fires me, still wants to be friends. Karen said she's going to plead guilty. Karen called the cops on me at my house. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled boss fires me, still wants to be friends. It's even worse than the title, to be honest. I've been this family's nanny for 3+ years. Youngest child is only 6. I took 6 days off at their insistence because I was having a miscarriage. The day before I was due to return, I got told, "We've actually managed without you, so could you just work tomorrow, then we don't need you anymore. But we can still be friends and meet up." I worked that day, picked up my stuff, dropped off their keys. By the time I'd driven home, she'd blown up my phone with messages saying, "I'm upset too, you know?" I blocked her number. Now she's harassing my husband. Sorry, honey. You don't get to fire someone during one of the most traumatic moments of their lives and expect them to stay friends with you. Nor will I come running back when you realize you now have no childcare. What do you bet they start calling you to come back the minute their kid gets sick or difficult? No, your former employer knew she was being horrible, and she's trying to make herself feel better by still offering friendship as the lady tries to wrench the knife she stabbed you with out of your spine. I am so sorry for your loss. Virtual hug. Yes, I fear they'll regret their decision to save a, frankly minimal, amount of money when they realize they now have no backup childcare or evening babysitters. Sounds like they saw you as an employee first and a human second. It's a harsh reminder that, at the end of the day, work is work. Good on you for not sticking around for more emotional manipulation. Friends don't do that to each other. Absolutely. My other friends sent me flowers, chocolates, visited me, and provided emergency childcare for my son. I'll keep these friends. She wanted to stay friends. Translation. She wanted to stay in touch with you for emergency babysitter needs. It wasn't friendship, it was access they wanted to continue. It always seems crazy to me how some people treat the people that they leave their children with. It seems like this should be an important relationship, but always seems to be disrespectful and penny-pinching. Sad, really. Parents are willing to pay way more an hour for the people fixing their car, their home, doing crafts of sports instructions, basically anything except pay the people they want to raise their children. Here's an interesting little factoid. In my business, sometimes I create unnecessary paid jobs or projects for people. Why? Because they're friends, and it came to my attention they need the money, or the responsibility, the distraction, or whatever. Just giving them a dignified option. And more often than not, they didn't ask in the first place. Being friends, one just becomes aware of what hurdles your friends are facing, or what they may need that could be helpful with whatever. That's what friends are for. Obviously, that woman is vividly the exact opposite of a friend. Sigh. I'd just ghost her forever. Good luck to you. Karen said she's going to plead guilty. A Karen wanted to push by me in my local Tesco's. In doing so, she grabbed the surgical fistula for dialysis and damaged, causing heavy blood loss. Basically, I ended up with a staph infection. My fistula failed the surgeon to top that and had to tie it off so it would collapse back into me safely. The infection for some reason caused my left knee to blow up like a balloon, extremely painful, and I needed 3 cases of fluid drain, needle and leg drain fluid into syringe, and FK me it hurt, then an injection of steroids to reduce the swelling. I now have dialysis via a chest line, which is less effective, so my fatigue and general health is worse. I had an angina attack due to low blood count and at 47 walk with a frame. Karen has been charged and goes to court end of the month. She's charged with ABH, assault, and public disorder. When her lawyer contacted mine, she basically had said she was having a bad day and feels terrible. Tesco has banned her, basically begging for forgiveness as her own lawyer has told her I guess she's in the shit. I told my lawyer that she may be sorry, but I don't care. Her behavior has had a negative effect on my health and day-to-day life. Judge can throw the book at her. What grinding at me is the surgeon stated that my fistula was already on its way to failing, which means the compensation is probably not as high as it could be. If I could like a marsehole, I don't care. What she did has left me in increased daily pain, limited mobility even further, and sent my mental health into a downward spiral. I spend most of my time now in Zoom calls with a counselor or outpatient home visits from community nursing for my arm wounds. Karen, I hope you get the maximum jail time for this, and maybe that you learn to be a better human. People need to be held accountable for their temper tantrums. I hope the judge takes the entire bookcase. Just one book is not enough. The bookcase first, the whole library second. This person assaulted you and caused severe bodily harm. Perhaps your fistula would have failed soon, perhaps not, but the infection and other injuries are entirely on her actions. Continue to do all you can on the criminal case. Get your own lawyer, on a contingency basis if you have to start working on the civil case for damages. Go after actual medical costs, all rehab and counseling costs, loss of mobility, everything acutely attributable to this assault. It's UK, so no medical costs other than some mobility aids I bought myself, but my lawyer is working on claiming that back. Karen called the cops on me at my house. Okay, buckle up. I have a neighbor who owns the place behind mine on a private drive. A couple months ago, she threw a Halloween party and had family members driving off-road vehicles all night in circles for a haunted trail. Part of it came onto my property near my house and was keeping me awake. So I walked out in my pajama pants and kindly asked the guy driving to stay on their side of the line. He stopped. It was all good, I thought. A few weeks later, I got a package accidentally delivered to my house meant for the neighbor. It was one of those soft Amazon packages, definitely nothing breakable, like slippers or maybe a coat. So I went to that neighbor's house and tossed it towards her door. Apparently after this, she called my work, demanded to talk to my boss, and demanded I be reprimanded. She said I confronted her cousin and yelled at him to stop riding his ORV, and I callously threw her package at her house. Clear exaggerations of what happened. My boss explained that my work has nothing to do with a dispute between neighbors. She still wanted him to talk to me about it. My boss called me into his office and told me what happened. It was so embarrassing. Plus, I work for a notable firm in the area that doesn't appreciate negative PR. I decided not to make things worse and didn't confront her. It was so frustrating seeing her smugly drive by every day. Fast forward 4 months to today. I got home from work to find packages on my deck. I brought them inside and discovered one addressed to the neighbor. Yay. I decided to go for my evening walk as planned and figured I'd try to be the bigger man and return the package when I got back. The temptation to be petty was immense, admittedly. When I came back from my walk, I found the neighbor and her older daughter on my deck. She asked me if I had a package. I went inside and grabbed it and handed it to her. I told her I did not appreciate what she did by calling my boss and lying about the details. Well, that went about as well as you'd think. She accused me of stealing her package and told me it's a federal offense to mess with her mail. I told her I had planned to give her the package, but she was stuck on how it was inside my house. She asked me if I planned on throwing it like I did the last one. I told her if anything was broken, I'd gladly pay for it. Then she said it. She asked if I wanted her to call my boss again. My heart sank, and I told her to do whatever she wanted. She started to waddle away, and I started going back into my house. Then I heard her yelling at me again. She turned around and started screaming about how I took her mail. I turned away from my door and told her to leave and that she was trespassing. She wouldn't leave. I told her at least 10 times to just go. She kept yelling about calling my boss and telling me she had cameras. Well, so do I. I pointed at them, and she finally left. And then the cop showed up. She is the main reason I put up cameras because of other stunts she's pulled, and thank God I got them. I showed the fuzz the footage, and they laughed. I guess she reported that I stole her package and threatened her. I showed the cops the video of the UPS guy dropping off the package, me bringing the package inside without looking at it. Now she's been officially trespassed and can't come onto my property anymore. But wait, there's more. She called my boss and told him the same lies she told the cops. I sent him the video and he said he understands. Still a garbage situation to deal with. How do you all deal with neighbors from hell? Update. Met with attorney. Going to let things marinate for a bit. Yesterday was the only in-person negative interaction we've had, and I'm still putting together the other stuff she has done before, Facebook posts, etc. Also found out this woman had a kid with a married man expecting to ensnare him into a relationship. He decided he'd rather stay with his wife. A few years later, she doubled down, tried again, and had another kid with the same guy. He still stayed with the wife. So now she lives off a dead-end job and child support. I think people usually go for restraining orders. She is harassing you and people you know, and has lied to the police about a phase crime. I think a cease and desist comes before the restraining order. Her phone calls to your boss for textbook slander, in case you want to sue. Right? And I'd be willing to bet since she's accusing Opie of a crime, it's defamation per se. Slander and libel are both defamation claims. At least a carrier delivered her stuff to you. Does your stuff sometimes go to her? If not, you might take her stuff back to the carrier and tell them wrong address. Let them deal with her. It's their error. As far as I know, she's never gotten anything of mine. I've gotten her stuff at least 5 times in the last few years. Honestly, with her raising that much hell in your professional life, you may be able to make a case and sue her for defamation of character, especially if it results in negative impact on your job. Worth thinking about, anyway. What an absolute garbage human being. Sprinklers that can be activated from inside. Every time she comes on your property, flip a switch and soak her. She'll get it eventually, and the cops, knowing what they know, will just laugh at her. Sue her. Slander, trespass, stalking, the whole works. If you have a lawyer friend, maybe they will do it pro bono. She's already escalating. And make sure those cameras are always functioning. And you are responsible to handle packages delivered to you. I would contact Amazon and return it, and take pictures of doing so. You could also make a little sign and leave it by where they usually leave the packages, asking them to please take a second and verify addresses. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.